All right, it is Friday, October 3rd, 2014. I've just arrived in Vegas for my annual conference, 500 plus traders, in just over 2 days from now. It's going to be insane. So looking forward to it, especially thanks to the four other millionaire traders who have agreed to speak and share their lessons. Tim Grittani, $1,500 into 2.3 million now. My best trading challenge student story ever so far, at least, not even forever. Maybe there's going to be somebody out there who's dedicated and who's going to surpass him. But I want to go over a very low risk trade pattern that I saw, and because of my travel, I missed it. It sucks. I really hate missing trades, but the good news is because of my business model, because I'm not just an individual trader, even when I miss trades, if I alert you guys, if I teach you ahead of time or in real time, even actually going backwards, you still learn. But I did alert this in real time, so I feel, pretty happy with it, even though I didn't personally get a trade off. So here is a 14-day chart of NXTD. You might remember I was buying it, I was shorting it in here, which was the good, the right move because it went from 1.5 to basically 3.5 in 2 days. But then it started kind of coiling in here, and I was saying, hey, there's support here in the 230s, 240s. It bottomed right here at 230, and then it was kind of fading here. It cracked 245. It took like 3 hours to crack 245, and then it ran into a brick wall of buyers at 243. So I was like, you know what, this thing, I think it's going to spike. So I bought at 250. It went up to 3. That was a nice little bounce for lasted like 2 days. And then it was coming back down here at 240. And every time it touches 240 support, 235 support, you have to worry, like, is this going to crack? If you look at the daily chart, it's not a good, chart. it's actually pretty terrible. But every time it touched it in the past few days, it bounced off. The low here was 238. The low here was 240. It did have one tick right here where the shorts are like, yes, we're going to win, 225, and then, support again at 236. And then it was uptrending all day, 2 days ago. And then yesterday, the low yesterday was like 258. So it didn't even get close to 250 or even 240. And it was uptrending. And when you have this, I'm not sure that it's necessarily going to spike, before it only bounced from 250 to 3. So I'm not like, oh, I need to necessarily buy this. But here's what makes yesterday different from all these other days. They specifically have press releases saying, look, we are promoting ourselves. We're having ads on CNBC and other places, and they're basically doing their own promotion. And they're in a hot sector with this mobile e-wallet. Even though they have no big contracts, no connection to Apple, they're in the right sector. And by promoting being in the right sector, that is something. So I wanted to buy into the close here yesterday, and it wasn't doing much. I mean, all day the morning high was like 285, and then midday it got to 290, and then after or late in the day it was like 280-ish. So I was thinking about buying, not because I thought that it was necessarily going to go all the way up to 4. If I knew that, then I would have bought yesterday after hours. But I thought that there was a good chance of it, gapping up, because when I made my first million, I used to buy penny stocks unknowingly at the time. I would just buy penny stocks that were hitting new highs. And I didn't know that the boiler rooms were promoting them to people during using telemarketing at dinner time. And these, suckers would put their buy orders in at the market open the next day. I didn't understand the game. That wasn't exposed for like 2 years later. What I did see was the pattern. And so when you know that this company is promoting themselves in CNBC ads that are airing overnight and other places, you know that there's support at 240, 250. You see the little slight uptrend. You see it's in the right sector. Today is a Friday. All of that added up together made me want to buy it here at 283. And, it was like 3:50 p.m. I was flying to Vegas at the time. Actually, I was flying to LA, and then today I came to Vegas. But I was flying, and I had Wi-Fi. It was go-go Wi-Fi on Virgin, and usually it's pretty good. But at some points in the nation, the Wi-Fi on airplanes is not great. In hindsight, had I known that there would be a trade, I would have flown private. I fly private sometimes too. Every now and then I'm just like, oh, I can't arrange a private flight. Let me just fly Virgin. And this time again, in hindsight, you don't know when these trades are going to pop up, and you don't know when the internet is going to fail. I was there. I saw it. I commented in the chat room because I was sitting on the Wi-Fi. I had my alert all typed out at like 3:50 p.m., 3:55 p.m. and I had hoped that it was like loading, like my Interactive Broker screen loaded, and then it disconnected, and I'm like, oh my god, and the person next to me thinks I'm like freaking out. And at this point, you know, at 3:58, I'm not going to send out a buy alert because no one's going to even be able to like see it in real time before the market closed. They're just going to get pissed. You know, if you send an alert like, hey, I just bought this, and oh, the market's closed, that doesn't make anybody happy. So I put this in the chat room. Again, in hindsight, I should have put this as a text message too, but I don't want to piss people off because I shoulda, woulda, coulda done a lot of things differently. But the point is that, you know, I say I'd be long NXTD overnight at 283 if the Wi-Fi on my plane didn't suck and I could put it in order. And then after hours, I was pissed. You know, NXTD was at 3. Grr, I should be long. Screw go Wi-Fi. You know, and then 316 pre-market this morning, and I'm still pissed. I probably would have sold at 316, okay? There was a 10,000 share buy order. I had a 15,000 share buy order at 283 that would have been executed at the time. I would have sold it all for 30 cents a share, and I would have made my $5 grand. This would have been the entire trade. Buying into the close, selling pre-market, because I didn't trust this. The cool thing is that sometimes I even underestimate how much a stock can spike. And, you know, this thing had a classic morning spike. Let me show you pre-market. Pre-market, you know, it was uptrending from 3 to 315, 320. I would have definitely been all out. You know, I would have taken my 30 cents. I would have taken my 10%. I think I even said that later. Oh, yeah. I said, so congrats. You know, the plan is to buy in the afternoon just before the market closes and sell pre-market for 5 to 15% gains. I definitely shoulda, woulda, coulda. Bad airplane, Wi-Fi, blah, blah, blah. And I said I wouldn't bet on a big spike. And so I was wrong about how much it could spike. I had the right idea because, again, let's go over the indicators that matter. Stock holding support. The stock has proven that it can spike in the past. It's in the right sector. They've admitted that they're doing their own basic overnight promotion using CNBC and other means. And, you know, you don't have that much risk buying a stock like that, especially on a Friday where some shorts are just like, oh, this is a crap company, it's going to go down. You have 5 great indicators. Fridays, past, former, spiker, right sector, its own promotion, and good price action. So 5 indicators going for you. This is what you need. And in this case, I guess their promotion worked. You know, I don't even watch CNBC. It's junk. But it spiked the stock. You know, this is a pump. And it spiked the stock from 3 to over 4. So the cool thing is that we have chat archives. So I wanted to look and see how people did NXTD. So we can do a search for NXTD. Hold on, let me see. How do I get this? I want to go to the next NXTD. NXTD. Wow, hit a nice price print. That's at 8:04 a.m. Any takers? Oh, and they released some news. You know, they're basically doing their own pump. Pretty awesome job. I want to send them a bottle of champagne, and I want to send Go, you know, a pile of poo. See, Super Shooter said, Timothy Sykes, you definitely had the right idea on NXTD though. Very good call. And it was. I just wish that I had alerted or whatever. Good morning. There we go. You see, this is a good trade. Spirit Junkie sold at 311, bought at 287. You know, that's a nice safe 10% profit. That probably would have been me. And people would have been like, oh, you know, Tim, you pushed the price up. And this is kind of cool because these stocks spike whether I buy, whether I alert or not. And they go even further. That's the beautiful thing. So all these people who are like, oh, Tim, you make your money because you just alert your subscribers and then the stock goes up. Well, I didn't alert my subscribers. I didn't even send that out as a text message. I said in the, you know, email that I should be long overnight, but I don't expect a big spike. And here's Future Millionaire, bought at 295, sold at 315, made $100. You know, this is it. You guys want the secret to making millions. This is it. 319, let's see, NXT moving. Here's a good trade. God Spear long at 284, sold at 323. That's freaking good. This is the secret to making millions. You find stocks with like 5 indicators going for it. Oh, I guess it's it. Oh, I have to refresh this. I think this was an old screen. Let's see. I want to see more. These are all pre-market people. I want to see if anybody held into the spike. Let's see. This is still all pre-market. There we go. Sold NXTD too early. Still made 355 bucks. Wow, it's over 4. Wow. Oh my God, went totally ham. Crap. In at 350, out at 390. Awesome. Making 40 cents a share. Someone's confused. There is no alert to buy NXT. Again, in hindsight, I didn't expect like a huge spike. Okay. In hindsight, I should have alerted. I should have bought. I should have gotten a private jet. It would have paid for itself with the trade. But I didn't know that they would do such a good job promoting. You know, it's kind of a unique situation. Look at this. This is awesome. Jay Shorner made 94 cents a share. Made back all the stupid losses. In at 283, sold at 332. That's J-Man. He says, thanks, Tim. Made 40 and then shorted. Awesome. 94 bucks on 100 shares. That's freaking sweet. This guy, RVC Trader, went the other way. Once it spiked too much, he shorted at 405 and covered at 377. Future Millionaire, oh, this was the made 133, could have made 400. Let's see, made 653 bucks, Jay Fern. Invest made 150 bucks. Dave shorted it. So you can go both ways, you know, once it goes too much. Look at this. This guy, James, shorted at 397, covered at 363. And I didn't, you know, alert a short or anything. You know, again, I was flying. But because I said, you know what, I wouldn't bet on a huge spike, then some people were like, wait a minute, let's think on our own for a second. We don't need an alert from Tim all the time because, again, my top millionaire students are self-sufficient. And some of these other upcoming students are becoming self-sufficient. You know, once a stock goes too far on overnight promotion, you have all the dumb CNBC buyers, you know, buying. Guess what? It should end, and it did. So I love this. Joe Trader made 500 on the long and short 453 bucks so far. That's pretty much it. Those are the main things. And then everyone's just kind of guessing. But that's the play, okay? Overnight, when a stock has 5 indicators going for it, it has such low risk to be long. You know, even if it didn't have this big spike, even if you could have gotten out at 320 or even 310 or 305. That's what my whole Vegas conference is about. That's what my whole, you know, educational platform is about. Even if I don't trade it, you guys learn to trade it and you make 10, 20, 30, 50 cents. You see that I've made now 4+ million. I very rarely, I can't remember the last time I've been long a stock at 3 and sold it at 4 and, you know, made $1 a share. I would have to say all the way back a few months ago when I took 6 of my challenge students on the $12 million yacht in the British Virgin Islands and we're being filmed for the TV show Below Deck, which is actually airing in 11 days from now on October 14th. Hopefully they'll show my trade. I ended up making 70,000 because I was buying EKSO on the breakout. It too had similar indicators. It had a big CNET article that I thought was going to spread, and then Seeking Alpha came out, and I made 70 grand and paid for, you know, most of the trip. And I don't know what they're going to show on Below Deck, but that one had $1 a share gap up. This one had $1 a share morning spike, and I didn't anticipate this whole thing, but I did know that the 5 indicators were there. I'm glad that several of you guys, you know, profited. You know, sometimes traveling, sometimes just teaching gets in the way. You know, I'm filming this in the middle of the trading day. So I'm missing out on trading opportunities, but that's fine because I'll miss out, I'll screw up trades as long as I can teach you. So ideally, in time, you can spot these indicators yourself. You don't need me. I'm just training wheels, you know. One of my millionaire students, Eric Wood, doesn't like posting on Profitly. He's up nearly $1 million in 2014. Now he's up nearly $2 million using these same kinds of strategies, going long and going short volatile penny stocks. So while the world hates on penny stocks, all I see is opportunity if you judge the indicators correctly. So I'm excited to see a lot of you guys in Vegas. Everybody else, have a great weekend. Thanks, guys.